Hey scrappers, it's Vanessa here with another scrapbook process video, and today I'm playing along with day 20 of Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. You saw the sketch at the beginning of the video, and I now have it up in that top right corner. So the first thing I'm going to do here is start to build out my background, and I am staying pretty true to the sketch for this layout. So you saw there just a moment ago I had a heart that I actually hand cut from just a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to punch holes in my pattern paper or my white cardstock and go ahead and off camera I just did a simple back stitch with some purple thread and did a double heart, and so that is going to match the heart that you see in the sketch. And then I'm just taking two different inks and I'm just going to do some splatters here to kind of mirror the falling hearts that you see on the sketch. Instead of doing those, I decided to just sprinkle some mist on the page. One was Sweetheart Shimmers, I think, and then the other one, I cannot remember the Lindy Stant Gang purple color that I used, but if you want to know, just leave me a comment down below. I'll be happy to let you know. And so those, because I obviously just did some splatters, didn't take any time at all to dry, so I'm able to just continue working on my page. And to do the band of pattern papers that you see to the right in the sketch, I'm going to take this pattern paper here, which looks on camera just to be just a pink piece of cardstock. It actually has a very tone-on-tone grid, pink grid, and so you can't see it on camera. It might get picked up a bit better in the photos at the end, but I just did a little simple scalloped border with my punch, and that's gonna just go behind that heart pattern paper, which is from, I believe, the Bloom Street collection and Paige Evans. And so that is going to make up pretty much my background of my page. I am going to mat that white cardstock on that pink tone-on-tone diagonal stripe, which I really like that as a frame. I love a good diagonal stripe for a frame on just about any layout. And now I'm just playing with my two photos. I am going to use two photos just like the sketch calls for. And basically I'm going to mat these two photos on this purple cardstock first. And then I'm just going to take a couple of Project Life cards actually and mat the little photo cluster that I have here. The mats behind this purple cardstock don't go all the way around. I just have a little bit peeking out just to add some layers and some interest around my photo. So that's what you're going to see here. I'm going to kind of fuss with this purple piece. I don't end up using this. I cut it down like I'm going to, but I ultimately end up not putting this piece of purple pattern paper on there. But I do use this diagonal stripe Project Life card and then this other pink. You don't see any of the words, so it's really just reads as a pink journaling or pink Project Life card. And there you see I'm just going to layer those up. Now off camera I will go ahead and glue this down, or I guess I glue part of it down and then I glue my background down to that diagonal stripe off camera, but I do part of it. I usually cut this part out because nobody really wants to watch me fuss with the fact that I never put my papers down correctly or straight the first time. So you guys get to see a little bit of me going back and forth with my pattern papers. But ultimately that's pretty much how my background's going to go. Like I said, I am going to layer those up. I do add here in just a moment another Project Life card, or I guess it could be a Traveler's Notebook Project Life type card that is longer. It has words on it, but you're going to see here in a little bit that I cover all of those up, but I did add another layer here in a moment. You're going to see that. Now in the sketch it does call for sort of like this little banner piece that's underneath that second photo, and I was cutting a branding strip that was on that pink tone-on-tone diagonal stripe and just going to use a little bit of that to mirror that same embellishment underneath that second photo. Now there is where you just saw me flip my photos upside down, or what looks to be upside down, and I had realized that when I had laid it down the first time, I had actually meant for it to be turned this way. If you don't know the ride Figman in Epcot, a lot of the ride when you're going through Figman's house is upside down. And so the photo where Figman is sitting, what appears to be on the ceiling, is actually from his house. So he is in fact sitting upside down. And so I'm going to now work on my title. I did bring in that other, like I said, Traveler's Notebook kind of card. I'm going to use that as a layer, but you won't be able to read any of the words. I do play around with where I want my title, and this is kind of where I change it up a bit from what is in the original sketch. I'm trying to make it work down here at the bottom of my photos. However, what I wanted to use for my title, I ended up not liking it down in that bottom sort of right of that photo, or bottom left of that photo. So I do end up moving it up here to the top, and my title for this one is going to be My Favorite Dragon. And so, like I said, these are photos of Figman, and so I have probably documented Figman or the Figman ride several times by now. It is not necessarily my favorite ride, but Figman is my absolute favorite, one of my favorite characters. He always has been. I actually would need to document that Figman was actually the first, when I got to pick out my first toy on a trip to Disney, my first stuffed animal that I wanted to buy. My parents thought for sure I would pick Mickey, but we were in the store, and the choice that I made the very first time I got to pick whatever stuffed animal I wanted to bring home, it was Figman, and I actually still have my original Figman. I've since bought another stuffed Figman. So like I said, he's my favorite dragon. And so I do need to document that eventually as well. But this is definitely a layout all about Figman. So with Figman, the other thing is all about using your imagination. So hence with this one, I was able to pull out all of my pink and purple embellishments. There are rain boots and umbrellas and butterflies and flowers. And because with Figman, it's all about however you want to use your imagination, you can. And so I got to pull out all these random things that would have been maybe hard to use on layouts, and I got them all stuck on this one layout, and I love how it turned out. And of course, Figman is purple, so it worked out perfectly. Now, when I went to glue all of those down, and sorry, I didn't talk about building any of those clusters, but it was pretty much just layering photos and some little wood veneer arrows and just the random embellishments that I was talking about. When I went to glue this down off camera, I did feel like the sort of left side of the layout was a little bit bare. So I just did a quick, simple little cluster of florals. And then to finish off the layout, I just have some heart enamels and some little pink enamel dots that I'm just going to sprinkle it around. And once I have that, that is pretty much going to finish up this layout. So here are the still photos. I will have the link below for everyone who is playing along. And with that, guys, this is the end of this layout, and I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.